Anybody else adaptive technology? Yeah.
Yeah. I use a separate testing location. I didn't realize I technically needed one. I'm a bio major. I had to take cell bio, which is understanding the little cells inside your body, which is very complex, which I didn't know about. And I was sitting there and I actually distracted my entire class. I started bouncing my pen and I started clicking it and bouncing my knee, and then all of a sudden I got to the last question. I saw how many points it was worth, and I kind of like gave out this really big sign. I hit the table, not meaning to, with my elbows, and the professor walks by and goes, "Is there a problem with you?" I go, "No, but I think next time."
Right.
I don't think I should be here. And the person
for
sitting
your
next,
benefit, right?
yeah. And they go, the person sitting next to me, she goes, "Are you okay? Are you like, are you having a heart attack or something?" I go, "No, I just couldn't sit there." And then people started getting up, and we have rolling chairs, and then I started rolling back and forth. It was a disaster. So yeah, separate testing location is pretty helpful.
All right, let's go on to the next question. Has anyone, and let me just get maybe two people just to comment on this, on the interest of time. Has anyone come into contact with a professor or staff person who would not give you the academic accommodation you asked for? And so, if you have come into contact with anyone who was not willing to give you an accommodation, please say what happened and then how you dealt with it. Yes, sir.
He did give me the accommodation, but he fought me on it. Because I've been performing pretty well in his class. The first exam, I had one of those blue book issues where I wrote in it, but after taking it, I realized that the material is so big that I'm going to need either extra time or the use of a laptop to stay within the 3-hour testing time.
Right.
So the week before last, I emailed him, he never replied. I brought in the laptop from the project mentor that they provided, and I had explained to him for about 10 minutes before the test that I need to use it because I write very slowly. It's very difficult to compose thoughts when I'm writing manually, and it would take me extra time. So he let me use it, but right now I feel that he may challenge me further on as the class goes on towards the last day on the 21st.
So
He's let me use it, but he has challenged and questioned my use of it.
Okay. All right. And okay, so just for everybody else, if he just kind of puts his fist down and says, "You know what? Forget this. Forget you and your laptop. You got to take it with the blue book." What happens next?
Then I would go refer to project mentor. They would send a letter and whatever is planned out for that kind of situation. I would go through the process, filling out forms and letters.
Right.
With the professor and as well with Jennifer.
And that's one of the things I just want everybody to be conscious of, is that if you identify yourself as a person with a learning disability or any kind of disability broadly defined, once you can document that and prove that you are a person with a disability, you have certain rights, and you always want to be able to identify who your support person is at the college or university you decide to go to. Generally that's going to be someone in disability services or someone with that kind of title. But there is a procedure that you can take, to make sure that your rights are respected and you get the things you need in order to be successful and really show how much you've learned in that class. Anyone else? We'll do one more. Yes.
Guys, I just want to tell you something. Do not be ashamed of your learning disabilities. Do not be ashamed of it. Like for me, sometimes it's hard for me to explain it or to share it with somebody. For me, like before I started any of my classes, I just try to go to the professor for the class start, or I just go to them after the class, and I'll be like, I ask them for if I could talk to them like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and I'll be just sitting there with them and I start explaining to them what is my learning disabilities, what is my weaknesses, and what kind of problems that I have. I'm really thankful, to God that most of my professors, some of them they understand me, and some of them they're like okay. And I know sometimes it's hard to talk about your learning disabilities with somebody else, but it's okay.
Yeah, you know, and it's, I always say to folks, you know, like I don't walk around, you know, waving the LD flag everywhere I go, you know, but I am in no way ashamed of being a person who has a learning disability, a person who struggles with reading and spelling, and it's just a part of who I am as a total person. But I think, you know, particularly when you're younger, you know, struggling in school can just feel like, you know, your world's going to end because school is such an important part of who you are. But it's important to not be ashamed of any of the challenges you may have. And really, you know, I've gotten to the point now where I really embrace the fact that I learn differently than everybody else. I think that, you know, the unique way in which my mind works has allowed me to be creative, you know, has allowed me to solve problems in ways that maybe other people haven't. And I know that I am a part, as a person with a learning difference, I'm a part of a very large club of people throughout history who have helped add to society, you know, and make this world a better place. And all of us, you know, we struggled early on in life. Let me just keep on going. Let me keep going. The next question I want to ask, and this will be the last one, and then we have a few minutes for questions from everybody else, but what is the best and the worst part of being a college student? Go for it.
The best thing for me is evolution. I've evolved from a person that I can't believe that I was just 8 years ago. I understand things better, and I've become a better person as a result of going to college and learned a lot more about how my learning style and how I interpret information. And it also has been teaching me how to strategize and how to communicate better, as well as eventually getting into my field, which is going to be counseling psychology. And the worst part has been the same thing, learning strategies and time management. Because since I didn't have a good structure in high school, it was very difficult for me to adapt to college. So that has both been the best and the worst thing, is just learning how to plan out my day. I was saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do this week. Monday I have this many hours, so I have a class in the morning, I got 4 hours, so 2 of those 4 hours I'll eat while studying, and then do whatever I have to do. And when I had a job at the same time, I would pick places where I would be doing work, but at the same time I'm able to look at my textbook, flipping pages while I'm filing or typing on a computer or just taking phone calls.
Right. Okay. So Juan is saying that it's the best of times and it's the worst of times. Anybody else? What's going on? Best and worst part of being in college?
Okay, I think the worst part for me, I came into this school and I didn't know they had a project mentor program. So the first semester I came in, I was struggling. I didn't have extra time in my test, and it was really bad for me. My grades went down, and it was it was horrible. But then a professor of mine, Dr. Lewis, recommended me to go to the project mentor program. And once I came in there, it was like the best thing for me. I feel like my grades went up, I had more time on my test, and it was just so good. Another thing that I like about NJCU in specific is these classes are not like 50 to like 60 people. It's like a class of 15 to 20 at most. So having a smaller class is really good because then you can ask questions and participate, and teachers really love that. So, and you learn more. So the best part, I think I have more good than bad, is I've experienced a lot too throughout being in college.
So, you know, a lot of times I've met many students with learning disabilities who get out of high school, go to college, and they say, you know what, I'm not going to tell anybody I have a learning disability. I'm just going to do this, and, you know, I know there's somewhere I can go and get some help, but I'm not worried about them. I'm just going to do my thing, and I'll be all right. And I've got a buddy who struggled for over a decade trying to get through college, and it was Spanish. He could never get through Spanish. And with his learning disability, it was like English was hard enough, but now he had to learn how to speak Spanish. But he, at the same time, he wasn't willing to speak up and to ask for accommodations. So I hope that everyone heard, you know, that it can be really, really a really good thing for you, and I believe it'll save you a lot of time and a whole lot of money. If you're willing to realize that, you know, it's okay to ask for help. You know, it's okay to ask for help. When you identify yourself to the school as being a person with a learning disability, you're not going to put a sticker on your head where everybody's going to be able to tell, you know, but you will get the support you need in order to be successful.